Hello, everyone. My name is Long Zheng, and I'm an alumnus of the University of Washington. I received my undergraduate degree from the Tacoma campus in communication with minors in gender and sexuality studies and global engagement. I recently received my master's degree from the Seattle campus last year in cinema and media studies. I am pleased to be able to show my appreciation to everyone who makes this UW Libraries video contest possible. I received the first place award in 2020, and quite frankly, it was pretty much the best thing that happened during this pandemic, right? That year. And I really wanted to talk about why I was inspired to make that video. For me, it was such an isolating time, when you're doing remote learning, teleworking, and you feel really disconnected with everybody and isolated, and you just want to connect with people, right? And really, connection and this theme of disconnection has always been something recurring throughout my life. As a Vietnamese American, I've always been interested in learning more about my culture, about Vietnam, about the Vietnamese language, which I've been learning for over 3 years now. And so at that point, I wanted to tell a story about myself and compose and produce something personal instead of something that was strictly academic, which is mostly what I do during my day-to-day work as a graduate student in 2020 and 2021. And so I want to express myself and be creative, but also engage with skills that I've garnered throughout the years as a video editor and cinematographer, being a videographer for several years now. And it really led me into a path of actually working for the UW Libraries with advancement. And it was an absolute pleasure to work with the UW Libraries and gain experience, not only with doing new kinds of projects, marketing, and trying to raise money for the UW Libraries, right? But also being able to utilize the skills that I already have and use them to benefit the efforts of the UW Libraries fundraising. And so for me, it really prepared me for careers in the communications industry, whether it's social media, whether it's media production, film industry, which I have several years of experience in. But it really directly led me to working as a video production and graphic design teacher at a high school right after I graduated, which was pretty much my dream job. I never thought I'd have the opportunity to teach at a high school, because for me, it was kind of like I never thought of actually, I've wanted to become a teacher. I just never thought it actually would happen. I thought I would go on to do my PhD and then see where that leads. But I ended up getting really lucky. And thanks to my connections with the UW Libraries and with my supervisor in advancement, Jessica Morrow, I was really blessed to have gotten the position. And really thanks to my, of course, Jessica and my faculty that I've worked with at UW Tacoma and UW Seattle, I just felt like everything came together, and it showed that being able to network and really create good working professional relationships with your supervisors, whether it's faculty or professional staff, it really helps advance your career. And I just had a lot of fun, to be honest. It was very creative. And I think lately, especially ever since this whole COVID-19 pandemic started, I've had urges to be more creative. And for me, I think I'm going to continue to pursue that in my professional career. So after I graduated, I started working at a high school. I also currently do some work for the Husky 100 program. As a former recipient, I'm doing some advising, doing some social media, doing some communication. So I'm trying to gain also more experience working in a higher education setting, because ultimately that is where I want my career to go. I would like to continue to also pursue a PhD this year, which I'm kind of in the process of waiting to hear back from certain programs. And I'm also open to, working and getting more experience that way, and also taking classes along the way. I'm also taking classes at UW right now, pursuing another degree just because I can in Asian languages and cultures, because I love learning languages. But basically the point is I want to keep growing as a professional, communications media professional, but also gaining more experience working in higher education, and also be able to learn more languages and learn more about different cultures, and also my own cultures that I find more personal to me. So a reach goal for me is, of course, to be able to work in Vietnam in the future when things open up again. But I am fairly certain I would like to work in a higher education setting, especially having had experience working in a K through 12 classroom and having worked several years in different capacities in a university. I really see myself being able to work at a place like University of Washington. And for me, that's another reach goal, to be able to return back in some capacity in the future. I would love to be able to be part of that community and work with students and other staff and faculty. So I would like to thank Friends of the Libraries and all of the donors, and of course, UW Libraries, for all of the support you give to students like myself and alumni. And I really wish the best for everyone, especially in the new year. Thank you very much.